But if we just look at, some of the change that's happening, you've got AI, increased complexity, and new demands from clients as well, complex client needs. And some of the terms I'm using could appear to be quite general, and there is some figures behind it as well. So what we say is traditional leadership tools aren't enough, and we need different ways of thinking. And our brains aren't always wired for complexity. On the left-hand side, it's gone, look, this is the complexity of mind. In the middle is imagine it like a lift shaft. And it's our current level of consciousness. And it's like, hang on, if we look at the context of the environment and the system, what we are often wired for is the bottom four, which is stability, certainty, simplicity, and clarity. And what we're dealing with, some of you will have heard, I'm sure, the term the VUCA, which is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So basically, what this is saying is that, how we are currently wired and our current level of consciousness doesn't always meet the demands of the complexity that we need in the current environment of which we work. And that is what we call in the developmental gap. There's two people called Bob Keegan and Lisa Lee. And what they say is that often we are in over our heads. And I imagine, sometimes in the workplace, we are really stretched and we just think, oh my goodness, I'm just in over my head here. And this is where we experience the world as really too complex. We're experiencing the complexity of the world, and it's just there's a bit of a mismatch with how we're making sense at this moment in time. And that's often a term we use, which is in over our heads. And if we think of our brain sort of going back to the defaulting to the stability, the certainty, the simplicity, the clarity in the stories that we tell ourselves, when really what we need is more adaptability, more influence, more openness. And often we're stuck in what we call mind traps, and I'll come back to that shortly. And if we think about that in terms of the sort of the, AI and tech-driven innovation and some of that, reimagining what some of the, the justice system might look like is, but often we're stuck in that. So these are some of what we call, I'll just go back to this. This is Jennifer Garvey-Berger's work, which is, she calls these 5 mind traps, which is really the habits of mind that often block adaptability and innovation.